Mango Mustache Media.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chicano Chingon, presented and hosted by Hacienda Las Glorias. We are here live at the First Avenue location in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The show is also produced and distributed by Mango Mustache Media. Shout out to our producer, Alex Schulte in the back, who is going through it.
He's in timeout in the corner over there.
He's in timeout.
Love you, Alex.
Hey
guys, I'm here too. Yay!
Yay!
You got a microphone.
Happy to have everybody here. What an amazing turnout. Thanks for coming, guys.
Our first live show here at First Avenue location.
I'm very excited. Many more to come. If this goes well, let's hope it does.
Oh, it'll be great.
Yeah. And to get... Oh, wait. I didn't introduce myself. I'm NellMari. It's my brother Arturo, your other host.
Probably your favorite?
Favorite's a strong word. And we can get right into it. Our first topic is tequila.
Tequila, the reason we're all here, right?
Tequila. That's what brings people together. And that's why we are talking about it today. Because tequila is actually pretty fascinating. And not a lot of people know about. It's
really, really old. It's so foundational for a lot of cultural things happening in Mexico. I mean, it originated with Aztec Empire. Story goes, lightning struck some agave plants, smelled good, they wanted to recreate that, and we got tequila. Then, in the 30s, somebody, we don't know who, made some awesome margaritas, which we're having a deal for. We got jumbo mango margaritas for $7.
These are the mango mustache margaritas.
Mango mustache margaritas.
Jumbo mango marg for $7.
I'm gonna
join us if you can.
Stash off now.
But yeah, tequila comes from the blue agave plant. I think that is the only type of agave plant. And it is primarily, I think it's throughout Mexico in different regions, but primarily in the state of Jalisco, surrounding the city of Tequila.
The city of Tequila.
Yeah, there's volcanic soils, actually, which is really, really good for the agave plant. It grows really well there. But basically what they do is they take, if you want to call it the heart of the plant. They also call it the piña, which means pineapple, but we won't get into why we're calling it that. Too much explanation, and I don't know the answer. So yeah, they cut it up, cut it out of the plant, slow bake it for like I believe 2 to 3 days, and then they shred it, crush it up, make it into some juice, and that's where you get into the fermenting, the distillation,
and
all
I believe
that.
the juice, it's like a white, like kind of syrupy thing. And they call it pulque.
Pulque?
Pulque. And actually, the Aztecs have a god of fertility that's also the god of pulque.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Pretty cool stuff here.
I like that just about all mythology has a god of
They all have that
alcohol
one
of
of
sorts.
alcohol. Yeah, I think Aztecs actually have like 3. There's like one of alcohol, one of specific like pulque, and then there's the one of just being drunk. They might be actually one and the same. But there's a lot there with alcohol. It's closely tied to the mythology.
It's not helping the stereotypes, is it?
There's also a god, this is off topic, really off topic. There's a god with, they call it the god of 400 breasts, and the 400 breasts have pulque.
Breasts?
Breast.
As in boobs.
Yes. That's the name of the god.
Gotcha.
A title of the god, yeah.
Okay. All right. That really threw me off.
Pulque is very important to the mythology here. I'm just trying to highlight that. I
didn't know all that, but that's pretty cool. I only know about making the tequila and drinking it, but yeah. So there's 3 types. Tequila is typically aged, but there's one type of tequila that is not aged, and that would be blanco, or if you want to call it silver tequila. Right after distillation, it's just served like that. No aging. I hate it. I hate blanco. I hate it so much. And then there it goes to reposado. Reposado is aged, and obviously,
isn't that between the 6 to 8 month period aging or something?
From what I've read, it's really just like at least 2 months, and I feel like obviously with any brand, whatever, it's just different. It varies. But I know that añejo, that's the oldest one. That one's aged for at least a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So reposado, few months or so, could be, it ranges from like a few months to a year. Añejo, aged for over a year, sometimes a few years.
And I know that the finer tequilas, they're not the ones you just take down like a shot. You're supposed to like sip it and have a lime with it or something.
Well, traditionally, and this is what Dad actually told me, that originally tequila was meant to be sipped. It wasn't supposed to be like a shot type of thing. It was supposed to be like sipped and enjoyed. It wasn't until, I guess, the popularity of like the not aged tequila, like the blanco and plata.
Yeah.
'Cause that shit sucks. That shit burns. So it's when we got to the shot thing, and that's when like the salt and lime was kind of introduced to go with it, make it a little easier, and it tastes really nice. It suits it. So, but
it's all right. I personally like my tequila and margaritas, but I'll take it either way. You know, you gotta have your medicine.
Hey, that works. I like. I think my favorite is reposado, but I don't think I've tried. I don't remember if I've tried añejo or not. Oh, I have? Okay, apparently I have.
Well, today you're gonna.
Today I'm gonna. We're going to take a shot of tequila. And I actually
We are going to, and if you want to join us...
Is it time to summon the shots?
I believe so.
Sounds like it.
I believe it is shot time.
Okay, so this is kind of a fun thing. It takes maybe a second to get out here. We're going to bring around a tray of shots for anybody that wants to participate. But, of course, you have to participate as a part of...
It's required. If you're able to. Not
Get her
that one.
done.
Which one are we doing first, my friends?
We can start with Blanco.
Blanco?
Yeah.
Blanco.
Okay, could you tell me more about Blanco tequila while we get those out for everybody?
Blanca feels the most similar to vodka. That's what it reminds me of, and I don't drink vodka like that.
It's the lack of aging, I think. Honestly, I'll be totally honest, I just hate it so much, I didn't look that much into it. So, I will say though, fun fact, you're required to distill it twice.
Say that again?
Distill it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you can also call it Blanco, Silver, Plata, other names
Tequila!
for it. I forgot about that.
Totally forgot about that.
I was like, why does this sound familiar?
I had it ready. They're pouring the shots right now. They're
All
pouring
right.
the shots.
Shot
We are
time.
at a busy restaurant on a Saturday.
And we have San Fran leaving. Love you, bro. Happy you leave before the tequila, because it's not for you, man.
Now that all the minors are gone, everybody's required to take a shot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now you gotta.
Everyone's required.
If I have to do it, you have to do it.
No, look.
Just
I
kidding.
mean, I'm here hanging out. I got a marg. I'll have a tequila to throw in there, you know, a little
This
shot.
mango mustache mark, quite lovely.
Mine has a mustache on it now. It got a little too painful on my lip and I couldn't smile. So.
I didn't even notice you take that off.
It stuck to the glass, though. Stuck to the glass.
I didn't think it was gonna work because of the condensation, but hey, that does work just nice.
Do you guys have
That'd
any
be a good
favorite
picture.
tequila stories?
NellMari does.
Yeah, I do.
More than me.
Okay. Gosh. Okay. I think. Just call me out like that. I think the first time I ever. This probably wasn't the first time I had tequila, but the first time I got drunk off tequila was actually Coralejo tequila, and it was like, I believe that was añejo, and it was a sweet tequila. It was with my mom actually that I drank this. I don't know how many shots. I don't remember. People just kept filling my glass. And I also had a big old bowl of pozole. It's a traditional Mexican soup, if you don't know. And I had a very long night.
That I had to walk in on and help her out.
In my room, I used to live in a room with a loft bed. And so after I walked up the stairs on all four.
We're not going to get into the details here, but we walked in on a crime scene is what it felt like.
It was that. I had to climb up the stairs, and then I had to pull myself up that ladder into that loft bed, and I just remember thinking, all right, it's time. And then I just leaned over the bed, and I think you can imagine what happened, but we're in a restaurant, so I will not
walk in on.
Yes, it was very loud. It was very violent. I was in a lot of pain. And I just remember two of my brothers coming in and looking at me in horror. So that is a very memorable tequila story of mine. It was one of the most significant ones for obvious reasons.
I mean, and those are the foundational ones. You know, you're having nice drinks with the fam. You know, pozole. Pozole is always amazing to have.
It's just...
I don't know about tequila and pozole
It's the
together.
mixture of the sugar, because I had I don't know how many shots of tequila. I had 2 bowls of pozole. I had Mike's Hard Lemonades, all the sugar.
Oh,
it didn't
yeah.
help. Oh, hey, tequila.
Hey, tequila.
Yay. Tequila time.
Tequila.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
awesome.
So, NellMari, you're picking first. Oh, we're doing Blanco first, right?
Blanco, yes. Oh, gosh. Oh, hey, and I have a lime. I'm going to need it.
my lime in the thing.
Well-
I'll take my margarita as a chaser, don't worry.
There we go.
Yeah. Or not a chaser, but it has a lime in it, right? Same thing.
And I will give it a second. Anybody
Oh,
else?
limes.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
never mind. You got
limes.
limes. Yay.
Abner, woo. Thank you, sir. That's
You
fine.
saved my day. Thank you, Abner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
But before we take the shot, is anybody else taking a shot with us? Damn, so nobody's taking a shot for the
We'll
Blanco.
rip the Band-Aid off for everybody. No one else needs to get Blanco. Get the nicer things out
That's
there.
fair.
you know?
We didn't hype it up very well with the Blanco.
No.
Where did mine go?
Your lime?
No, my shot.
It's right there. Don't knock
Oh.
it down. Yeah.
I knew that.
There we go.
Anyways. Salud.
Salud, bro. Oh, love it. Nice way to loosen you up for the rest of the show, right?
I'm going through it.
And wash it down with a nice jumbo mango marg. Mango mustache.
Things are going to get very interesting by the end of this episode.
That was 1 of 3 shots.
1 of 3.
So
2 more to go. But you know what? I will enjoy the other 2. That was the worst of it. Got that out of the way, and that's all that matters.
that's a walk in the park.
Yeah. So now it's time for one of our favorite segments, the word of the day.
Of the day or the night now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Night. One of the words of the night.
All right, Dora, take it away.
Dora. Anyways, today's word is Chicano. I was going to do the Dora bit, but you know what? I don't feel as comfortable doing it in front of all these people in person. I'll leave that to our recorded episode.
I'll do the Dora bit. Nah, my voice is too high.
I got the voice
Chicano.
for it. Chicano. So the word Chicano, I'm not doing the Dora bit. The word Chicano is typically used to describe Mexican Americans. The term was kind of coined, just a brief summary. The word means either Mexican Americans. Some people like to argue about whether that's exclusive to Mexicans born in the U.S. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Now you can see the lovely mangoes. People born in the U.S., or even if they weren't born in the U.S., they just grew up, live here, reside here. I just like to say people residing in the U.S. with Mexican heritage. The word actually kind of became popular during the civil rights era, but
With Cesar Chavez and...
specifically to the Mexican American movement, which kind of branched between like the 40s to the 70s. It took off during the 60s, during the majority of the civil rights movement, but the struggle had been going on for like a long time, and that goes to like, you know, people working in the fields getting rights, and the education system, economically, just all around wasn't really popping off for Mexicans and Mexican Americans. Wasn't the best vibe. So, you know,
Not the best vibe, yeah.
not to
that's one way to
downplay it,
describe
but
it, yeah.
quite awful. But yeah, there was a few movements going on, you know, led by like few people, you know, like Rodolfo Gonzalez, Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, Sal Castro. And it's interesting. It was a lot of people just like like I said, working in the fields. Cesar Chavez kind of led that, getting them
The
more
pickers,
rights. Yeah,
pickers'
and
rights.
a lot of students also, because during the time, especially in California, a lot of students, Mexican students, weren't getting the same opportunities. And I mean, this is pretty obvious, especially during this time. You don't really expect that for minority students.
Yeah.
Not in the 60s. But a lot of Mexican students were not allowed to speak Spanish in school, which is, particularly messed up considering a lot of these students had just come from Mexico. The Mexican population was huge. So obviously there's going to be students who don't speak English, weren't allowed to speak Spanish, kind of got picked on by teachers for their names, and didn't get the best educational resources in their schools. Not the schools that were referred to as the Mexican schools. So a lot of students got involved in that, and that was what was kind of led by Sal Castro. Students walking out, protesting, whatever.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, the time frame you're talking about, it's kind of the same as the Vietnam War time?
This did take off around 1967, 1968, the student-led protests.
Okay, well, there was a lot.
Rights.
The reason I bring it up is because during the Vietnam War, a lot of the students in colleges specifically were protesting the Vietnam War, and there was even some I'm not going to get into specifics, but there were some mess up things that maybe some police guys did.
Oh, no, definitely. And I
Yeah.
think the protests for the Vietnam War and also the civil rights movement for African Americans in the country is kind of what helped push Mexican American students to join in. Because at the time, they were quite upset about the lack of opportunities they were getting in their school. And, the dropout rates were pretty high because, they didn't really see much opportunity for themselves. So a lot of students were they couldn't finish
they're
school.
dissing us because we're Mexican. What the hell?
Yes, to shorten it up, yeah.
Yeah, that's the...
But they saw these protests going on, and that's kind of what inspired them to make a move. And they were also met with a lot of violence from police, which was quite unfortunate. But the word Chicano now, it's really interesting. A lot of people have a lot of pride in the word because around the time that word became popular, another term, Chicanismo. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. I don't remember. I never heard this before, but it was actually described as just like a viewpoint politically and socially, just to embrace Mexican and indigenous heritage, because during this time, a lot of Mexican Americans were just taught that they need to assimilate to American culture. They had a lot of
That didn't work too well.
Yeah, a lot of Mexican American kids were only being taught English by their parents because their parents wanted them to get more opportunities,
Yeah.
But then they're also met with, shame from other Mexicans for not speaking Spanish and just expressing themselves with their culture and their art and, whatever. So when Chicano kind of took off, it was a lot of people using that word so they could just express pride in their culture and their ethnicity, which I think is pretty cool. So after learning all that stuff, it makes me happy to describe myself as Chicana. I don't know. I feel a little bit of pride of it.
Yeah, well, and for me, that's kind of a newer word for me because going up through middle school, high school, I didn't ever use that word, but only because I didn't totally understand how to use it.
Yeah.
But you've definitely helped me understand that more, and I can kind of happily say that, yeah, Chicano, cool guy over here, but...
Yeah, only up until only the past few years, the only time I used the word Chicano is when I knew it meant Mexican American, but is when I'd be speaking Spanish to customers and somebody make a comment on my Spanish and how it's a little funny, or some things would sound fluent and then some things I'd say sound broken.
It's a little bit of that Spanglish action going on.
Little Spanglish going on, and I would just be like, I'm sorry, I speak Chicano, and that'd make people laugh, and that was it. That was really the only time I really used that word, and it was kind of a diss on my Spanish skills, really. Yeah.
Because they're questioning you, something's funny about you, something's going on with you. We already talked about early in the podcast, a couple of episodes ago, where you get mistaken for
everything
not
but
being
Mexican.
Mexican, yeah.
Yeah, I get Chinese, Middle Eastern, everything else before Mexican. Sometimes I get Native American, which I am, but that doesn't happen as often. It's usually literally everything else. And you know what? That's fine. I like calling myself Chicana, though. It's kind of a short, easy answer for what I am.
Yeah, it's a nice, I think because it's not just one specific, you don't have like one picture that goes in your mind. It's kind of a nice kind of blanket for a lot of people that fall under that.
Yeah, and it's nice because I feel like a lot of Latinos in general who are, residing in the U.S. can kind of relate to the struggle of not fitting into cultures because, you know, you're too American for Mexicans, you're too Mexican for Americans, you don't know enough about one culture and you're kind of, shunned for it. And it makes you feel stuck,
Mm-hmm.
It's an uncomfortable feeling. So the term Chicano is like, it's uplifting, there's pride in that.
Well, and one of the things with being here in the U.S., I mean, yeah, we have a big population for, Mexican American or anybody else from Latin America, South, whatever.
South
but I mean, here in Iowa, the school I went to wasn't really full of, really, Chicanos, anybody really.
Really, any Latinos.
It was just kind of like, okay, yeah, you're in a school with a bunch of, white kids, and they're all like, something's weird about you. I can't put my finger on it. And they try to guess what you are, and I'm like, yeah, man, you're not gonna, but.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable in school because I think there was like, in my graduating class, there was maybe 2 other Latino kids in my grade. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of like, it was like a daily thing. It wasn't always, just malicious and just like hateful, but just like on the daily, you get just weird questions like, oh, where are you from? What are you? Just like,
what's that mix?
Yeah,
what are you made of?
You're just constantly reminded every day that like, you're not white, mm-hmm. you're different. And we're going to point that out. But then when we go to, the Mexican community, we're called mm-hmm. white. So it's just, it's kind
of like, you're just stuck in like a weird limbo for all that. And
unfortunately,
Chicano is a nice comfort word for everybody involved. At least for me, I don't know.
I like it. I like calling myself Chicana. I think it's fun. And you know what? I think it's a fun word, right? There's a little thing I got here. Somebody wrote this in for I think it was an anonymous writing sent into like a newspaper. I don't know when. I can't find who wrote this. They kept themselves anonymous, but I just wanted to read it really quick. It's called Chicanismo, a Way of Life, and I think it's really nice. So here, I'm gonna read it. Chicano is a very real person. Beyond the person, Chicanismo is a way of life, a spiritual calling, a love, a respect, and a duty. Not all those who are brown are Chicanos, and not all those who are Chicanos are brown. Brown is a color. A color cannot love, nor can it know of respect. Only a warm human being can love and respect. To be Chicano means to have learned of respect, to have practiced understanding, and to have been moved by social injustice to the point where the person sees it as his or her duty to fight wrongs wherever they may be found. Above all, Chicanismo is real. A Chicano does not wag his tongue about injustice and wrong for very long. He acts more than he speaks. Yesterday, our grandfathers lived with fear and injustice. Our fathers could not resist, for they had neither the means nor the knowledge to fight for their God-given rights. But today, we resist and fight for all that is right and just. Our force is a sword of patience, awareness, and truth. The force never dies, the sword never dulls, but may we wield the sword with a calm and tranquil spirit. The sword, as it cuts through the film of untruth, will make its own roar and find its own mark. That was by a Chicano of Artesia.
Hats off to you. You read that after a shot and a little bit of margarita. I would have started at least 4 times. So,
damn.
Good for you, man.
I'm not feeling it that much. That was only 1 shot.
Sounds like it's time for the second one.
That means we need another.
All right.
Sorry, Arturo.
I think I just jinxed
Well, to wrap up the Chicano segment, we end it with the shot.
Cheers to the first live event here at the First Avenue location.
Salud.
A clink.
Clink. See, that was a lot better. Sheesh. That one was nice.
Less like medicine or nail polish remover.
It was so tasty.
Mine was, because mine was reposado. Sorry, guys. Yours is blanco.
Wait, what? Were we bamboozled just now?
Not by me. That was by Josh. Josh bamboozled you.
Wait, so what did I just take a shot of?
You took a shot of blanco.
What?
I
was expecting reposado.
They ran out.
They ran out of reposado.
They ran out of reposado.
That's how they get you.
That is because I was hyping it up too much, and everybody in the restaurant was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get on that." So sorry, guys. That was
More Blanco for you, I guess, right?
Frig, no.
Snap, crackle, pop. We're trying to keep it PG around here, so
It's pretty funny. I asked them before the show not to curse. They usually curse quite often. Let's see. Go blank yourself. Are you blanking kidding me? Let's see here. I mean, it's really in the name of the show. So, but I wanted it to be family friendly. So,
well, if you catch us slipping up at all, take a drink for us.
We'll
nice drinking game.
Make it a drinking game.
But the goal is to not slip up because...
Yes.
And the funny thing is we almost did make this a drinking game. But next time, there's just so much going on, we decided to opt out. But every time Arturo refers to himself as the GOAT, that would have been a drink. Anytime NellMari gets caught up on the words and goes, blah, that was going to be a drink. And I can't remember the other one. Was it every time you said
somebody
way?
says, no mames.
No mames.
No mames.
That's right.
Integral to the vocabulary here.
Yes, it isn't. It's
Did
very,
we cover
very
that
important.
on one of the past episodes?
I think we did talk about no mames.
We need to make a list. I always forget.
See, now you're understanding how like somebody maybe does like a TV show and somebody comes up to them and they're like, oh, I love this part of that episode where you did this. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've done so many things. I don't remember.
Spent so many hours
You're
in
literally
that same room.
6 episodes in.
And I don't
you don't
remember
know what we've
anything.
talked about.
I don't remember a thing.
It all just molds together. I'm like, I don't even know, man.
I remember, it also doesn't help that we've done test episodes and we've done like discussions and everything, and we
Yeah.
go through the words, and I'm still doing the research on all these words and like the origin, well, as much research as I can. I can't find an origin for way or no mames, but
Just kind of slipped in there, I guess.
it resides in my memory. But shall we get on to the second word of the
second
day?
word.
Because it is a special episode, we're having a special occasion with 2 words. Usually it's 1 word or phrase. Today we got 2.
Put in your history books, guys. This is a very important day.
This is very
Live
important.
event in 2 words.
The second word
that
of the
sound?
day is Chingon.
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 And this is where I have a little trouble because right now I'm supposed to translate what the word means to you, but I am not allowed to curse. So, Chingon means fart or
Wrong.
frog.
It
No,
is.
what?
It is. All right. Imagine me saying the F word right now, right? But I'm not saying. I'm going to say freaking, all right?
I'm just...
So the freaking Mexican American. That's the name of our show. Chicano Chingon.
Like
Yes-
freaking
yes and
awesome.
no.
Freaking
awesome.
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
if you want to get down to the base of it, chingar means
To freak.
to freak. Chingon is used in a positive way to describe things. So if I want to say, hey, that shirt, esa camisa es bien chingón. That shirt is freaking awesome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh.
Or, I don't
kind.
know, te ves bien chingón. You look freaking awesome.
That's the most amount of compliments I got out of her in one day.
I was going to say, Nell's never been that nice to Arturo.
It doesn't happen that often, so remember this.
Yeah, I got it right.
But,
Core memories here.
Yeah,
Making them.
Chingon, it's used a lot. And I will say, we were actually going to have the podcast name Los Chingones, but what's his name?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were
George Lopez.
George Lopez ruined that for us because apparently he already has a podcast called Los Chingones.
No, it's called the Chingon Podcast.
Oh, that's right.
The Chingon? That's kind of like...
The Chingon.
Right?
I don't know. That's kind of... You're missing a mark there. It's
kind of, what do you think, you're the only
El
one?
Chingon? I don't know. That El Chingon's kind of cool.
It doesn't ring like our podcast does. I got beef with George Lopez.
Yeah, George Lopez... He probably has beef with us. I mean, I don't know. We're pretty cool here in Cedar Rapids, so...
I don't think we're on his radar yet. George Lopez has beef with every upcoming Mexican /
He's the
Mexican
final
American.
boss of comedy for Chicanos.
He's a hater and a gatekeeper. He's basically the Nicki Minaj of comedy.
What? Does she do that?
I can't say I don't know.
Nick-
What does she do?
Nicki Minaj doesn't like when other female rappers get big.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of female rappers. Other than I know Remy Ma's got her own beef. I'm not gonna talk about her. They're pretty goofy. But like a lot of other female rappers have said that Nicki Minaj will like if they're gonna perform somewhere, she will refuse to attend unless they make it so that performer isn't performing. A bunch of stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah, she's kind of
I'm not a big Nicki fan, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's not very girl boss over. I will say that.
not very girl boss.
No.
At first, we were making fun of J-Lo, and then we made fun of George Lopez, and now it's Nicki Minaj.
The goal here is to piss somebody off who is famous enough, and they give us that boom. So, you know
It's
what?
going to be a real David versus Goliath. Chicano Chingon versus George Lopez.
We're going to get canceled real quick. The show just started. I was hoping the J-Lo one. Actually,
That one did pretty good. I mean, I saw the clip. That clip was getting some traction.
People love J-Lo, but you know what? J-Lo don't love back.
She's not very Jenny of the block.
It's not very Jenny of the block. So, George, I'm coming for you. That's all I will say.
We hashtagged her, so maybe her publicist saw it or something, and they were like, "Oh, we better not show her this one."
I hope they do. I hope she sees that and she gets another little
They shield
stress
her.
wrinkle.
Shout out to Batman and his wife.
No hate on wrinkles, but that woman cares about him because she's very. This is a hate J-Lo train. But
Hey,
anyways,
but we need to go back and say we love Batman. Ben Affleck, he's
Love
doing
you,
pretty
bro.
good. He's got that awesome Spanish,
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
So anyways, back to what I was saying. Chingon. Got a little
Chingon.
off topic.
A little bit.
A little bit. I mean, it's funny. We heard different forms of chingar a lot growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I heard one of my earliest memories of my dad teaching me things that he should not teach me in Spanish was usually when we kiss our parents goodnight, we would say, te quiero mucho, good night. Te quiero mucho means I love you a lot. My dad, I remember one time, taught us to say, te quiero un chingo, which means I love you a freak ton. And I think that was hilarious to him because it's a 4 and a 5-year-old saying, I love you a freak ton to him in Spanish. And my little 5-year-old brain, all I remembered was saying it and my dad laughing and my mom going, stop, and being confused as to why we had to stop. But
That was always the fun part about learning those words you shouldn't learn in Spanish. Like
Yeah.
I remember our tia Karina we would go to Mexico. She'd be like, "Hey, I know we're gonna go our separate ways. We're dropping her off at the train, the airport, whatever." And she'd be like, "Hey, go tell your dad te quiero un chingo for me." And I'm like, "All right, let's go do that." It was just te quiero un chingo.
It's
Integral, man. You gotta love that.
It's kind of funny getting little kids to say things they shouldn't say. Obviously,
In English, it feels a little different though. I don't
Yeah.
like hearing little 4-year-olds run on to the F word. But if they're saying te quiero un chingo, that's cute.
it's cute. I feel like little kids shouldn't be really cursing at all. And whenever you see a little kid just dropping a bomb of sorts,
They need to dial it back on their sentence enhancers.
They're sentence enhancers.
Sentence enhancers.
Shout out to SpongeBob once again. Usually people gasp or they're like, "Where are the parents?" But I laugh.
Some people's kids. What?
I laugh. I think all of our younger brothers at some point have said something they're not supposed to at some point, and you have to reprimand them. You have to be like, "Hey, you can't say that. That's not a thing you can say." But it's so hard trying to stop yourself from laughing first. I always gotta turn my back to them and
There's an amount of proudness that comes out there. You're like, man, you're really taking off after me.
there's a slight amount of pride and there's a bit of panic because I'm like, did they get this from me?
Are they taking out the wrong? Is it te quiero un chingo or screw you? I don't know, man. You gotta make sure they're taking it the right way.
Yeah.
One love kind of thing,
One love kind of thing. Well, with that being said, should we?
I think that moves on from our word segment, right?
Yeah, I think now everybody fully understands the word, what it means. Use it responsibly, ladies and gentlemen.
Chicano Chingon.
I think that brings us to our third shot. And this is the añejo.
Añejo.
The top tier shot, final boss, if you will.
I can't say bad words. The good stuff.
The good. All right. Everybody ready?
You guys, can I say something for this one?
Yes. Take it away.
So this is our first ever live recording, and it's humble beginnings right now. So we've got a small but mighty group here, and I'm so grateful that you're all here with us today doing this. I seriously can't thank you enough for being here. So cheers to Chicano Chingon, cheers to Mango Mustache Media, and cheers to all of you for being a part of this amazing first day. Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Clink. There you go.
Oh, man. Salud.
That was a little smoother. Okay, I can tell the difference.
That was
Oh,
like
the line's
fire
still
on my
up.
throat.
Alcohol is still alcohol, so it burns.
Way better than Blanco, I'll tell you that. That's like nail polish.
10 times
bro.
better than Blanco.
I don't think it takes a lot to beat Blanco, though, so.
Yeah, anything beats Blanco. It's my opinion.
You're both Blanco, right?
Damn, you didn't have to call me out like that. That was all three of us are Blanco.
All three, really, honestly.
We're in this
Yes.
together.
We're all in. Okay, no, sorry. Now
Thank
I've had too
God.
much to drink. You know I'm drunk when I started doing High School Musical.
We're trying to keep that going. Let's get another shot.
No.
We need a
Just
little more
bust out the
music going
karaoke
on.
machine or something, yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to add about margaritas? With the tequila?
Margaritas? I briefly touched on
Punched? Damn.
the
seeing
origin of
effects
it.
now.
The origin of margaritas, not really well known. There's like so many different origin stories with it, but I think 1936 was the first counted story that's apparently like correct. There's also a guy named Rusty in 1967 that claims he made the first margarita, which is wrong, but you got to give Rusty his recognition because he got pretty. Is ballsy a bad word? Yeah, we'll say ballsy.
Well, you already said it. so.
Rusty got a little ballsy in 1967, claiming very, very big things. But no, it was there was a bartender. One of the stories that I know really close to me is there was a bartender in Mexico, I believe, and he had a singer come up to him, and they claimed, or it was a singer, dancer, whatever. They claimed that they are. I can't speak. I've had too many shots. Bear with me, guys. She was allergic to a lot of liqueurs. She can't have a lot of mixed drinks. But this guy's like, what about tequila? She's like, I'm actually not allergic to tequila. So he made a cocktail specifically for her. And that happened to be the margarita. You know, with the snapping, the salt and the lime, you know? Yeah. But yeah, margarita story.
Three shots was a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot, but
You got through it.
I'll dilute it all with this margarita. Don't worry.
That sounds logical.
Yeah. I definitely won't wash it down with the bottle of water, the cup of water over here.
We do have water, ladies and gentlemen. We do drink responsibly here at Chicano Chingon / Mango Mustache Media. We need to stop bringing up
Drink
Mango Mustache when we
responsibly
talk
with the
about
fam.
alcohol. Yes,
With the fam,
absolutely. But you know what? I think that concludes our show today.
I think that's going to wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah. I will go ahead with the outro because you're going through it. You want?
No, I'll see what I can do. Well, everybody, that's been our first live show here at the First Avenue location for Chicano Chingon.
Presented and hosted by
Hacienda Las Glorias here.
here at the First Avenue location in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Produced and distributed by Mango Mustache Media with our awesome producer in the corner, Alex Schulte. For more
in
information
timeout.
with this guy, check out the MangoMustacheMedia.com website for Alex's information. And if you want to throw a / Chicano Chingon on the end of that, you'll find more information about our podcast.
Arturo's feeling the effects of tequila. Let me
Yes.
rephrase that. MangoMustache.com / Chicano Chingon. You can check out any more information we might have missed. We
Thank
got
you, brother.
new episodes coming out. You're welcome. Every Wednesday, if you like this show, you'll enjoy our Wednesday episodes, and we'll be doing more of this. We're going to do more shows live on every last Saturday of the month. So be sure to catch those as well. You guys can also check us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you get your listening experience. And don't forget, we got socials.
Hey, don't forget to leave a like, comment, get a review on Apple Podcasts. Spotify.
Tell all your friends about it.
Tell all your friends.
If you do that, that'll make you bien chingon.
Bien chingon.
So you know. And one last thing to leave you guys with is stay chingon, Chicanos. Woo. Salud.
Salud, brother. Woo.
Mango Mustache Media.